Ohio State's season is about to start, and for many, it is a paved path straight to the college football playoff. Elite talents like Julian Sayin at the helm, Jeremiah Smith, an absolute monster of a receiver, and a Bo Jackson who exploded with over 1,000 yards in his debut as a freshman, make any fan dream big. And the defense, it is top tier, with pieces in practically every position. Sounds perfect, doesn't it? But what if I told you there is a real threat, a hole most fans haven't seen yet, and that could destroy all of this even before the playoff starts? Stick around until the end, because this information can completely change your view on the Buckeyes in 2026. Before we continue, if you are a football fan and want analyses that go beyond the obvious, subscribe to the channel now and hit the notification bell. And leave your comment right here. Do you believe in Ohio State for the CFP this year? Type yes or no down below. I want to know what you guys think. We are not talking about a lack of stars. Ohio State's roster is without a doubt one of the most talented in the country. The problem is deeper, quieter, and happens right where real battles are won or lost, in the trenches. Think about it. Last season, the Buckeyes' offensive line had performances that were, to say the least, concerning, especially in crucial games against Indiana and against Miami, two teams that knew how to use defensive pressure surgically. And the worst of all, in the scoring zone, where every yard is worth gold, where the game is decided in the details, they simply didn't deliver what was expected of a program at Ohio State's level. This isn't guesswork. It was registered in the numbers, in the plays, and in the visible frustration from the stands. To try to solve this issue in 2026, head coach Ryan Day is betting all his chips on a completely revamped starting quintet on the offensive line. Ian Moore takes over at left tackle, Austin Seyerveld returns at right guard, and the central idea is that the new offensive coordinator Arthur Smith can elevate the collective level of this unit. Ryan Day confirmed that this group is already working alongside the main team in practice. The intention is clear, but intention and execution are two very different things when the opponent up front is elite, because a new offensive line, no matter how talented, still needs to prove it can handle the pressure when the game is on the razor's edge. And that, my friend, is only discovered on the field in real high-pressure situations. This is a massive gamble, and the risk is huge. And if the situation on the offensive line is already concerning, on the defensive gap is even more visible and harder to ignore. Ohio State lost two absolutely fundamental pillars. Caden Curry finished the 2025 season with 66 tackles, an impressive 16.5 tackles for loss, and 11 sacks. 11 sacks in a single season. And Caden McDonald, 65 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, and a second-round pick in the NFL draft. Replacing this kind of collective production is not simple. There is no magic formula for it. Kenyatta Jackson Jr. is the big hope to fill this void, and he already showed flashes of excellence in 2025 with 6.5 sacks. But turning flashes into dominant consistency is a huge leap. This is still a projection, not a guarantee, and projection when the opponent is high level can be way too dangerous. And this is where the situation gets truly tense, because the 2026 schedule gives zero room for errors. We're talking about Texas as early as the second week of the season, then Indiana, USC, Oregon, and the eternal rivalry against Michigan to close out the regular season. 9 of Ohio State's 12 regular season opponents participated in a bowl game or the CFP itself in 2025. 7 of them won at least 9 games. In all these decisive matchups, the trenches will be the most important battleground. The offensive line will need to dominate against the best edge rushers in the country. The defensive line will need to create pressure and control the ground game against elite offenses. If the front line, both on offense and defense, doesn't hold up, the promise of an undefeated season could collapse surprisingly fast. 2 or 3 losses in this block of games, and the CFP dream that seems so real, so concrete, could turn to smoke before autumn ends. Ohio State's real risk in 2026 is not a lack of individual talent. This roster has stars to spare. The problem lies in the fragility of its front line, a silent flaw that happens far away from the spotlight, but that could cost the entire season and a spot in the CFP. It's the Achilles heel that no one wants to admit openly, but that opposing coaches are analyzing right now. Jeremiah Smith isn't going to have a bad year out of nowhere. Julian Sayin isn't going to forget how to play football, but if the offensive line can't protect them, and if the defensive line can't stop the opponent's ground attack, none of these individual talents will be able to save the Buckeyes alone. So, now that you know all of this, I want to hear from you. Is this front line going to be the weak point that sinks Ohio State in the 2026 season, or will they manage to turn things around and prove the program is stronger than ever? The season promises excitement, the talent is there, but so is the doubt. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss this bombshell together. And if you enjoyed this analysis, share it with that friend who also follows college football. See you in the next video.